Hi, my name is Ranganath. I'm an IELTS teacher. Actually, this is my third video clip. I have already uploaded two YouTube programs related to IELTS reading. First one was multiple choice questions, and the second was matching. And today I'm going to program my third YouTube video. Actually, this should be the first one though, as I did not have enough time to explain you very clearly about what I'm going to do. So I consider this video clip as the first video clip for several reasons. Actually, when we take the IELTS or PTE or whatever the International English Testing System exam, well, I feel like number of candidates, I can say that more than 90% of the candidates have to sit for the examination more than once because they are unable to achieve their band in first attempt. Honestly speaking, my passing rate of my IELTS students, candidates, actually I can say 98%. So I vehemently, proudly I'm saying that they passed the examination in one attempt. The reason behind this success is, and the secret behind the success is, the way I teach them, especially reading component, because reading component is the most challengeable component in IELTS examination, as we have to manage our time, because we have only 1 hour to address 40 questions of 3 passages. There is a way to achieve this success. Well, if I say basically everybody says that we should do skimming and we should do scanning in order to find the answer, but there is something more than that the students must know. There is no use of skimming or no use of scanning if the students have poor vocabulary, and at the same time they will find the difficulties when it comes to this reading if they don't know grammar. I mean English language, the basic English language, the general English. So I have planned more than 300 YouTube clips in order to teach the whole program, whole strategies and everything what the students need in order to achieve their required band score, or more than that they can achieve if they follow my advice. So this series of YouTube clips will be very essential for you. So therefore, please subscribe my YouTube channel as soon as you receive it, and then you will be able to get to know about the basic grammar the students need, and as well as the vocabulary. I'm going to aim for 5,000 words related to academic English. It will be helpful for not only for IELTS but also for PTE and examinations, so on. So let's switch to our program. Today I'm going to show you the importance of skimming and the importance of scanning and the basic grammar and the vocabulary that you need to achieve this goal. So this will be the introduction. For my next YouTube clips, I will elaborate to you very clearly about what they are, what's the meaning of skimming, scanning, and how grammar and the vocabulary are the base, the core, is the core to their the competency level. Okay, so let's enjoy this video. Okay, now we shall begin. First, the IELTS reading, the most important factors. Now the the items presented here, that means the reading passages which I have selected are very small ones, so they are not the ones that appear for the IELTS examination. It is a passage of nearly 900 to 1000 words, but in order to answer to a set of questions in a big passage, relevantly as large size passage, first of all we should identify the core of reading. So that's why I have selected the small paragraphs. So when you once identify the how to find the answers from a small paragraph, then finally I will sum up all of these strategies into a big reading passage, and I will explain you how to reach a reading task which contains 1000 words or more. Right. So first of all, as I have mentioned you, skimming. Skimming means actually fast reading. That means the international standard of skimming is that 100 words in 30 seconds. Try your best to read faster. You can test your speed actually if you watch English movies with subtitles in your own language, or maybe English movies with the English subtitles. Actually, that is the best thing. Try your best to read all the English subtitles before they disappear. I think that very few of you would be able to read the whole sentence before they disappear. Actually, if you can read the whole sentence, try your best to. It looks like taking a photograph from our eyes, taking the whole sentence a photograph from our eyes. Actually, that is the meaning of skimming. Without reading one word to the other, we try to get the photocopy of the whole sentence to our eyes. It takes much time. It is easier said than done. So the operation is up to you. So you try your best to start checking your skimming speed by referring to when you watch movies. Try your best to read the whole sentences before they disappear. Then I can say that you have acquired the speed of skimming. You can practice it actually. Skimming means actually run our eyes very fast on the words, understanding them, but not very seriously, but getting the big picture of the paragraph or big picture of the chunk of words that you read. Well, skimming and the other one, other mechanism here is that scanning. Identify the pronouns or numbers in question and hunt for these words in the passage. That means, for an example, now just this is true, false, not given question type. For this, actually, all of the buildings at Tikal have been exerted. Tikal, this is a proper noun. So there are no synonyms for proper nouns. So therefore we can easily catch this word in the paragraph Tikal. See? Then you have identified that word. Then if you read the whole sentence where this appears, then you definitely find the answer. Actually, IELTS examination has been programmed on this skimming and scanning basis. We must first of all trust this method. The text may be from science, or text may be from economics or politics, whatever it is, the areas which we have not learned. But we don't want to worry about that, because the examiners who have prepared this question paper are English examiners, English language experts. So they have focused this text on the grammar and the vocabulary, synonyms. That we must very strongly must have a trust on that. If you otherwise, if you just only try your best to understand the content of the paragraph, maybe you are going to learn the subject there, then you will lose your time greatly. Though you are good in English, though you have high competency of English, that's why I always tell you that this exam has been prepared by English language experts. So therefore, they are testing your language competency. They are not testing the subject knowledge. Remember that very importantly. Okay, that is what we call as scanning. And even the ears also are very good points for scanning, because you can easily find these ears in a passage. Easily you can get the answer. Even names of countries or people can easily be detected. So these have become scanning points, the scanning words. Imagine if you cannot find any scanning word in a question, what should you do? Well, if you are unable to find the answer to that question, my advice is that you have to skip it. Answer to the other question. Then when you once find the answer to the next question, definitely the answer to the question that you missed should be above the paragraph, above the passage. Because many of these IELTS strategies, answers are in order, but except 2 or 3 strategies which I will explain you later. So we must know that question type we call a strategy, whether it is whether it has answers which are in order or answers are not in order as you go down the passage. Right, okay. The other important thing is grammar, because the IELTS test your knowledge of all the tenses, especially active voice and passive voice, and comparisons, superlative adjectives, and the word families such as create, creation, creativity, because they are very important when you fill in the blank. Because the word that you write in a blank must grammatically be accurate, and it must compare the rest of the sentence, otherwise your answer is wrong. And prepositions play a major role. Conjunctions such as because, although, though, even though, these kind of words we call conjunctions. Conjunctions are also called as honey phrases, because you can easily find the answers. Answers are always after the conjunctions. You can easily identify the answers if you see a conjunction such as however, although, though, even though, especially when it comes to matching the headings. And relative clauses such as the man who works hard, like that. So relative clause also play a major role. Another one is vocabulary. In vocabulary, you should know synonyms a lot, which I am going to program another set of channels. Especially I am aiming for 5,000 words, synonyms, which will be very helpful for IELTS, all the 4 components, as well as idioms and the words related to many fields of study. So that includes the vocabulary, like for example, space science, you should know the name planets, supernova, galaxies as such, while you should have not in acquaintance of law, such as criminals, commit to suicide or commit to crimes, these words. Right, so let's now start up showing you one demonstration related to this true false not given question type. Look, true false not given, that means true false not given questions are based on the information in the passage. The answers are in order, so this is very important for us to understand. Answers are in order. When you once can't find the answer to, let's say you can't find the answer to the first question because you can't find any scanning point, then you skip to the next question. If you once find the answer to this question, definitely answer to the first question must be above the paragraph where you have found the answer to the second question. That's how actually we can reduce, we can manage our time. Okay, as I always mention you, first of all I read the questions. All of the buildings at Tikal have been excavated. The important point is all and the Tikal. Tikal, all. and excavated. These are the three keywords that I have found: all, Tikal, and excavated. Alright, so now we have to identify scanning points. So we have found the word Tikal here. Then we just have a skimming session. Deep in Guatemalan rainforest, Tikal, one of the most important archaeological sites. We couldn't find that information, so we read ahead. We skim ahead. The site contains. Still, we could not find the second sentence. We read ahead. The ancient civilization. Places. No, we couldn't find. So we read next sentence. Much of the site has been excavated. All right, I have found the information. Much of the site has been excavated and restored. Much of the site. But look at the statement. Says all of the buildings. Here all means 100%. Here much means not 100, maybe 95%. So what do you think about? The answer, the statement, this is we call statement. The statement is opposing to the information given, because much means not 100%, all means 100%, so they are opposing to each other. So I can say that this answer is false. Answer is false. I think I cannot write anything here. Type so false. Answer is false here. Then let's. The Tikal was home to most important Mayan king. What do you think about? Do you think that there is one scanning point there? Yes, of course. The word is Mayan. Mayan king. Mayan. So we had to identify where Mayan. I found the Mayan here. And we had to find out more about Mayans, as the answers are always down there, and here Maya. Then we read around this identified scanning point. Much of this and making a popular tourist Maya. However, this is a very important word. However, many structures are home to population about right, that's all. No, I could not find information about home to Mayan kings, so therefore answer to question number 2 is not given. Then ancient inhabitants of Tikal were farmers. Ancient inhabitants of Tikal were farmers. So we had to identify. This is also a very easy word for us to do scanning. Farmers. So answers are also down there, because we know that answers we have already found from here upward. Right, so answers must be downward. And this Tikal was an archaeologist service and show that this is an agricultural society. Agricultural society means farmers. Then we had to read around this word in order to find out, especially the sentence where this word occurred. Archaeologists have excavated the remains of cotton, tobacco, beans. Used crops, showing that this was an agricultural society, as the ancient inhabitants of Tikal were farmers. Because of these words, showing that this was an agricultural society. Agricultural society means farmers, so the answer is right. Yes, true. Here true. So answer here now we have found false, not given, and true. So we will address another one. Look, we read the questions before we start reading the paragraph. As I always tell you that IELTS examination is not like this. You have to read a passage which contains more than 900, maybe 900 to 1000 words passage, and there are 2 or 3 question types. So now we are addressing to reading passage unit by unit, but this will be very helpful to you when you once find a big passage with 3 question types. So I will address them too. This is the beginning. So if you have not started from the beginning, you will definitely find out very difficulty when you are going to answer to a real passage. So I will do that now later. Let's see. Several of volcanoes of Hawaiian Islands are still active. Hawaiian, this is very easy for us to find out. Hawaiian Islands. When you once identify this information in the paragraph, then we can read the rest. Hawaiian. Yes, at the very beginning we find the word Hawaiian Islands. Then we had to identify several of the volcanoes on the Hawaiian Islands are still active. Several of the volcanoes on Hawaiian Islands are still active. Alright, then we will find out this information here. We read the sentences around that word. Hawaiian Islands are about Pacific Ocean. The chain consists of major islands, largest as well as some 120 small islands like this. We could not find information even if we have read the first sentence. For our just further notice, we had to read ahead, or I'm not sure, but I'm going to read ahead because I still could not find the answer. What I'm going to do is that I will read the next sentence. There are a total of 8 islands in Hawaiian island chain. Yeah, I have found that numbers are given here. Numbers I can find 1,500. These are miles, but you had to find number of volcanoes. So 8 major islands, the largest, and as well as some 124 smaller islands and islets. Well, there are total of 8 islands in Hawaii, but here it said there are consist of 8 major islands and 124 small islands. Then it can't be, because there are total of 8 islands wrong. Total of 124 plus 8, 134. So here answer to question number 2 is false. So now we can easily find the answer to question number 4, because we could not find it earlier, because answer should be above. In Pacific, the chain consists of 8 major islands, Hawaiian Islands and the islands volcanic. Couldn't find that word. And here we can find that volcanic hotspot. The islands were formed. Actually, now this is a practice test. Sometimes the answers may be mixed up since it is only a paragraph. But we must trust that the examination answers are always in order. So I can complete, like, and with a great confidence I can say that answers at the examination should be all in order. So therefore don't worry about that. Here Pacific plate over volcanic hotspot. Several of the volcanoes on Hawaiian Islands are still active. So we have to find out. We have identified that plate over the islands were formed by the movement of Pacific plate over a volcanic hotspot, and known to Europe as a Sandwich Island. Now we don't find any information after that. The islands were formed by the movement. This is about the islands formation due to volcanic hotspot. But the statement says there are total of 8. Several of the volcanoes on the Hawaiian Islands are still active. The information is not given, so answer is not given. Answer to question number 1 is not given. Then Captain Cook named the island after his financial backer. Here we can easily find that information. Captain Cook, where Captain Cook is. Yes, Captain Cook I found by scanning. Now we have to skim through the area through this sentence to identify whether this has a relevance. When he first visited, and he called them this in honor of 4th Earl of Sandwich. There is a comma with a relative clause, who had provided the financial backing for Cook's expeditions. Captain Cook was the man who named this island in honor of Earl Sandwich, who had provided financial backing. That means because of the financial backing, captain who named the island after means on behalf of. That is true. Okay. So answer to first question not given. Here answer false. Question number 5, and here answer true. Then that is how actually my skimming and scanning, and how we should use grammar and vocabulary to detect the answer. Well, my next YouTube video will address you the difference between yes no not given question and the true false not given question, and how to identify them. If you want further information I will explain you very clearly where you should contact me. Thank you very much for watching the video.